Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Bay City Chronicles, presenting Emerald City tonight. You can tell because I'm the one who's talking first. Joining me tonight for Emerald City, we have OPT, who is playing our daring superhero bunny rabbit, Jacob. And we also have TGE, who's playing our daring superhero human, I guess, ghost boy, Sauve, also known as Henry. And for those of you who were with us last time, which was admittedly just a little while ago, we'll give you a brief recap. So, after Jacob had a really wonderful and adventurous time training in the evening with Nightshade, the city's vigilante hero, he went back to meet up with Henry back at his house, where Henry's identity as a superhero was revealed properly to Jacob by his brother Michael. After you guys did the whole reveal party, which was wonderful, and spent a nice evening talking about Sauve in various ways, we went to the next day. We went to the next day. A plan was hatched that evening before you guys went to school the next day. A plan you guys dubbed 24 Karat. The main gist of this plan was that Jacob's main ex-squeeze, Penelope, I think it was. Yeah.
Yep.
She was sort of dating-ish a jerk of a rabbit named Flash. And they witnessed Flash being a terrible, terrible coward and a very bad boyfriend when they last broke up a fight that happened at the Wrecking Ball dance. So, in order to kind of show Flash's true colors to everybody at the school, especially Penelope, they hatched a plan to scare him out of his wits and make him run screaming out of the school. Which they did by basically having him be haunted by, like, a ghost carrot.
Or a lot of things.
Multiple ghost carrots.
Multiple.
Some of which may have also been drawn on paper by a 10-year-old boy.
It was a beautiful plan.
It was, and it worked wonderfully. You guys freaked out Flash. You ran out of the school screaming like a baby. And everybody saw him for the jerk he was. But it didn't have quite the ended effect of, making Penelope absolutely care about Jacob. No, that happened later. When Jacob actually sat down and talked with Penelope and was trying to kind of set things sort of straight. In the process of doing so, he ended up actually kind of ticking her off instead. And she ended up storming away, never to talk to him again, until good old Henry came along and set things straight. And also in the process of setting things straight and getting them to talk again.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
How the heck did Henry set anything straight?
I mean, he set up a boy and a girl together.
Okay, fair.
Wow.
I was ready for that.
I figured you were.
Wow.
But the major bombshell that was basically dropped at the end of last issue was that as a result of Jacob and Penelope smoothing out their rough edges, Jacob told Penelope all about Psi Delta and what he was going through. And Penelope was shaken, but ultimately he told Jacob that he'd always have a friend in her and that she was going to be there to help him with this.
Thanks to Henry. Because that's what got her to walk off, because she's like, that's way too much.
Yeah.
Because Jacob's really good with the ladies.
Oh yeah, he is wonderful. Yeah, so you told your girlfriend about Psi Delta. I don't know if she's still your ex. Kind of, yeah.
It's complicated.
Right. Which is not the issue. The title of the issue tonight.
No.
The title for tonight's issue is called A Wizard Did It. And
Dun, dun, dun!
on the cover, what we see what seems to be a sea of charts with arrows going up and down wildly. And also, you can kind of see in the corner some frowny clouds and some happy suns. And then you see a sign hung on the bottom right over a nail that says, I quit. And we open up the comic, and we return to our heroes as they're probably helping Henry with his responsibility he has this evening, because we are still in the day of Wednesday after school, and Henry, you have work.
Yes, isn't Wednesday the day we're supposed to be doing the big catering party thing?
No, it's not.
Okay.
That is coming up, though. Don't worry. So, Henry, you are getting ready. You're getting yourself ready for work, but you're currently kind of at school. Or do you go to work from school, or do you go home first?
Oh, he usually goes right from school.
Okay. And Jacob, after Henry, your best buddy, just helped you out to get your girl back, what are you gonna do?
I think he's gonna follow him to work. Like, one, he's hungry, and two, he just wants to chat with somebody right now.
So you have Joey then, because Joey will be there in the table as well.
Right. Oh, that's fine too.
Yeah, Joey does accompany you guys because he does like to kind of join you in your early part of your shift.
Right.
Alrighty, so Henry, do you get your uniform on before you go to work, or?
Absolutely not. He waits till he gets there.
Makes sense. Okay, so we get a nice opening panel then of you guys probably walking there. I don't think you're driving around too much, right?
Well, Henry's 15, so he doesn't have a license.
Okay, I thought he...
Even if...
Actually, he said he did, but go on.
Even if Jacob has a license, no, he likes to run and walk a lot anyway, so...
Gotcha. All right, Henry, I thought you said you got a license, but that's okay. So you guys, then we have a nice panel, you guys walking towards Samedi. It's a nice, bright, sunshiny day. And so on the way over to work, I imagine Joey's kind of talking your ear off, talking about, like, how great that was that you and Penelope are back together. Everything's going to be all right, Jacob. Like, it wasn't that great, man.
I think so. I was like, Joey, I'm not sure we're back together yet, but, She said we'd always have a friend, which is great. I don't know if that's back together or if we just got regulated to friend status, but...
Henry leans over and whispers into your ear, because it's easy to do because you're a rabbit.
Right.
And just go, hey, I'm okay with this. He's no longer talking about taking pictures of my butt and spandex.
I mean... Okay. So, Joey, tell me more about those pictures of Sylvie you wanted in spandex. No, I'm not kidding, actually. He does say that immediately afterwards.
You get the biggest I hate you glare right now. And it has this look of, I literally just made it so your girlfriend doesn't hate you and this is how you repay me.
He gives you a little smile. It's like...
And meanwhile, Joey's kind of smiling as well, and kind of like holding up his phone, saying,
Doggo!
Hey, Doggo! Aw, he's so cute!
Doggo!
So little. But Joey holds up his phone and says, I haven't taken any yet, but maybe if we're lucky.
He looks over here, he's like, oh, come on, you love it, you know it.
Yeah, the problem is if we get lucky, that means something bad's happened.
I mean, there's always cosplay.
Yes, but is it weird if you cosplay as yourself?
No.
You know how many of humans think I'm cosplaying all the time?
For real?
Sometimes. People think, it's like, that's a great fursuit. Like, no, it's my body, you jerks.
Oh, it's so lifelike.
I know.
Like tug on the ears and everything.
Okay.
Henry goes over and just pokes a cheek.
It's so fluffy.
Are you still in the fluffiness after his mom hugged you?
I mean, sometimes that happens with humans, yes.
It was nice.
All I heard about.
I can't help it.
It runs in the family.
Trust me, he wanted me to ask you what type of hair conditioner you used.
Well, it's fur conditioner.
No, I'm pretty sure it's hair conditioner.
HARE?
Yeah.
Joey gives Henry a little bit of up five.
Oh yeah. There's a total 5.
So, Jacob, I was actually wondering something.
Yes.
I mean, we're going over to an Italian restaurant. I usually like to eat something while I'm kind of like keeping Henry company. What do you normally eat?
Oh,
Like, do you ever have meat?
sometimes like some white meat, some fish. Not red meat though. I tried that once. It didn't go well.
Ooh,
Joey,
Night of the Were Rabbit?
No, nothing nearly that cool.
Oh,
Joey.
yeah.
Henry walks over and plucks the coffee cup out of his hand. No more caffeine for you.
Okay.
I do mostly go vegetarian, but you know, every so often it's some chicken, some fish. My stomach can take that. Stomach can't take the red meat.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
What about red sauce?
Ooh.
I mean, sauce is what it is. It's just, put like sausage in it, then I might have problems.
Well, technically sausage is made from pork, so that's a white meat.
He got you there.
Maybe. I don't know.
So, you guys are walking on and you arrive over at Semetti's. All nice and bright and bushy-tailed for your shift. And Henry, as soon as you walk through the door, Marco kind of greets you with a very big open arm. Hey, it's my boy, Henry. He comes over and he claps his shoulder onto you, saying, how you doing, Henry?
Oh, good, Mr. Semetti. Afternoon.
So Henry, you here to work, right?
I mean, I'm scheduled to work.
Yes. How would you like to have the night off?
Night off?
Yes. We have Carl cover your shift. Don't worry, he's very reliable. There's a compound that switches over. Carl's a turtle. He just kind of waves a hand.
This is new. When did we hire somebody else?
Oh, don't worry. Carl's here. He's going to be helping with an event later. But for now, he's going to take care of the tables tonight. Because you, my boy, I don't want you to overwork yourself.
So, am I still helping with the event?
Ah, the event. Good. I'm so glad you volunteered. Actually, that's one of the conditions for you having this wonderful night off. Henry, you're a good boy. I have here these flyers, and he pulls out a big stack of flyers, puts them in your arms. They're weigh maybe 20 pounds. These are for you. You put these up around downtown, put them all around the town halls, the malls, anywhere you can down there. And once you're done, you go home for the night. And then, on Saturday, you will be the star waiter at our fantastic event, our super event.
Are you going to need more people?
He actually looks a little bit curiously over at Jacob specifically. And he says, I could do with some more people, yes.
Oh, good. I got 2 of them right here.
Joey kind of bounces happily.
Jacob just looks up just kind of gives a nod yeah.
Smith doesn't even look over at Joey, but he does look at Jacob kind of with a big smile, saying, Great! Oh, you must be so happy to be at this event, because we'll be serving one of your kind.
One of my kind?
No, not like that. I mean, he's a hero to all rabbits. I thought that's what it says in the papers.
Oh, you mean there's going to be a rabbit there that we are going to be serving food to, not serving as food.
Right.
Okay.
What? No. That would be very, very unkind.
Yes.
Mr.
No, but
Wouldn't be the first time someone tried to do that.
No, you're very excited today, Mr. Samedi.
Well, I'm excited, but boy, just look at the invitation. And so when you look down at the paper there, what you see, printed big as day with a big grin on his face, like kind of Captain American, like from the '50s style grin. And you
Oh
see,
God!
yeah, you see Captain Bucky on there, like big rabbit, muscles bulging, all ready to go. And you can see it's an event honoring Captain Bucky, brought to you by the city of all this, like lists all these different organizations. It says, and catered by Samedis.
Mhm. So Jacob kind of like puts his hand like this, like exactly like this, and just goes, "Well, at least Mom will be happy."
How does a rabbit get muscles in those places?
You don't want to know.
If I didn't want to know, I wouldn't have asked.
Trust me, I'm telling you, you don't want to know the answer to that.
Well, now I'm even more curious.
I'll tell you later. Although, actually, maybe I'll tell you when you get home so you can practice with Joey.
Joey just kind of looks over. What?
Yeah.
Henry just looks at Joey. Did he just make a joke?
I think so.
Wow. When did he learn how to tell jokes?
Who said I was joking?
So, about these flyers. You ever put these flyers up? But like, Henry is beet red.
Somebody just claps you on the shoulder saying, "Oh, you look so proud. All you need to do, my boy, is just hang these flyers over downtown and make sure that they are nice and prominent. And you do a good job. Maybe I'll even give you a bonus for having tonight off."
We'll get him hung up.
Good, good, good. Now, make sure you do that now, before it gets too late. Because the sooner the better. We want to have as many eyes on this as possible.
Yeah, we can do that. Henry's still beet red, by the way.
And Joey's just kind of like beaming a little bit, but he's also a little bit curious, confused. But Spinny gives you another pat on the shoulder and says, "All right, you go on. I got to teach Carl how to do the dishes without breaking them. Bye."
So once everyone's out of earshot, Henry's just going to look down at Jacob. Go, okay, first of all, did you have to go there in front of my boss?
Oh, it was funny.
Yeah, funny. Second of all, you got super speed, right?
Yeah, I do.
He just hands you the entire box.
Joey kind of looks over at you. "Henry, that's not very nice."
Fine. He'll take out a stack of papers that he can hold in his hand and hand them to Joey. Do you feel better?
Kind of.
He'll take out another pile.
I was gonna say you probably know where they should go better than I will, but
The answer is simple. Any place that can be prominently seen by people.
so everywhere. Got it.
Pretty much.
Should we put some up by the school, do you think, or is this more of an adult thing?
I think this is a Marco Samedi thing. So any place where anybody is going to see them and talk about it. Let's be honest. By the school, they see picture of a swole rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob actually kind of rolls his eyes, doesn't he? Yeah, that guy.
You don't like Captain Bucky?
He's a little too... Look at him. He looks like he's smug as heck and all stuck up and stuff.
But he's a hero.
Yeah. Just, I like the other side of being a hero better than that. He seems like he does it a lot for the publicity of it all. Look, I mean, like he's posing in magazine or flyers and stuff.
Look at those muscles.
See?
Joey actually does like a little bit of a pose. And he's like, "Yeah."
If you're a real superhero, you don't have to show off like that.
You look over and Henry is flexing as Joey's clearly looking at the bicep.
Well, I meant to the public. I mean, you could still show off to your boyfriend.
But no, Captain Bucky's great. Like, superheroes solve super problems. Like,
So do we.
he's like the paragon of the city.
Yeah.
Joey, hon,
Yeah.
if that's the case, where was he when we all nearly got gored?
Yeah, really.
Maybe it wasn't a super problem.
I don't know. A giant bull trying to tear down a stadium full of innocent people as 3 normal high school kids are trying to wreck stuff sounds like a super problem!
Yeah. And
Even if we did look fantastic while doing so.
exactly.
Well, I don't know, but maybe you'll get to ask him on Saturday.
No.
Oh. We could get his autograph.
Or at least his paw print.
Are you really that desperate for a superhero autograph?
I mean, I don't know. He looks really fluffy.
That sounds like the Joey I know. Trust me, you should feel the blankets that he keeps getting. They keep getting softer, and I don't think it's possible for it to go any softer.
Don't make fun of my blankets.
I'm not. They're comfortable and they're soft, but do we really? Do I need 7 of them?
I don't want to throw out the old ones.
Again, I say this with all the love in my heart. You're lucky you're cute.
So are you.
We should probably go hang these up.
Yeah, I'll leave you 2 lovebirds to whatever. I'll run around town and put all the rest of these up. You want to meet up anywhere after that, or should I just head out?
I mean,
We have the night free.
yeah, we definitely have the night free.
Maybe we could like watch a movie, or or we could go out to the mall shop again, or go to the mall. I don't know.
Ooh,
We could do a lot of different
that
stuff.
sounds fun.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a great idea.
What's the idea?
And Henry just smiles, looks at Joey, smiles again, then slowly turns his head to Jacob.
Yes.
Somebody needs a new wardrobe.
Smash cut.
Okay. Where are we smash cutting to?
Well, just like a montage of Jacob started Jacob running around, just throwing flyers up, like all over the place. Probably Joey and Henry doing much the same.
But at a much slower pace.
Right, yeah.
And it's kind of hard to hang posters when it's one hand apiece.
Right. So I can see a comic panel where they're like Henry puts up one on like a telephone post. Like you have like the wide shot of no posters. Henry puts one up on a telephone post, looks back, and then there's like one on every post down the street suddenly. And like just this puff of dust going like behind where Jacob just ran past everything.
Would you say that you leave a trail of dust bunnies?
Yes, absolutely.
So, Jacob, you're not suited up while you're doing this, right? You just kind of...
No, because he's just running around. He's a rabbit. People expect to be fast. Maybe not that fast, but
Yeah.
Because he's not like super, super speeding it. He's just, he's just being faster than most normal rabbits could be.
Right.
He's taking a 3-hour job and turning it into an hour job.
Exactly, yeah. Not a 10-minute job.
Yeah, which would be a half-hour job, but the other 2 people hanging posters are concentrating less on hanging posters, and we'll leave the rest to the smash cuts.
Thinking about the advice that Jacob gave him earlier.
Either that, or Joey's like putting a poster on the back of Henry at some point.
Joey is putting a poster on the back of Henry, and then making an excuse to accidentally try and grab it off and grabbing a little too much.
Oh, you got something there.
Yes, it's called a cheek.
So, as you guys are doing your posters, and splitting them around. Specifically at a point where Jacob, you said you were kind of running around a little bit further away to put away the posters, like you guys were splitting up just a little bit.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay,
I mean, that would just happen because faster.
makes sense. So as you guys are divided and putting up the posters, specifically when you're apart, you start to notice that rain is starting to fall through the middle of your job. It starts off kind of light, but it quickly starts getting very, very heavy. To a point where Jacob, you start having a little bit of trouble like keeping your footing because suddenly slick streets. Yeah. But so yeah, it's starting to rain pretty badly, and slowly you can tell building into what looks to be a torrential downpour.
Oh dear.
Indeed. So, how do you guys deal with this problem when you're trying to put up your posters?
I think Jacob just starts moving faster.
Run between the raindrops.
No, he's not that.
Henry is, you're not sure where or how, but they have managed to produce, they have umbrellas. And Henry and Joey have umbrellas. You're not sure where they came from because they definitely didn't have any. No handles. Yeah. And these are obviously, you can tell these are Joey's umbrellas because they are clearly in the exact same pattern as Sauve's spandex. Like the same color scheme.
Poor Joey's a fan.
Does he have an extra one for Jacob?
I'm sure he does somewhere.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Because I'm thinking he runs by at one point, just kind of like grabs it.
Yep. And using the cover of the umbrellas, Henry is actually making all of the posters ethereal, so they don't get wet.
Oh, nice.
Brilliant. Very nice.
Jacob,
once they're hung up, because he doesn't care.
Right.
What is Jacob doing then? Just kind of putting up fast.
He's just trying to be faster. Because it's like these are getting soaked, so he's gonna do the best he can. But at some point, it's just gonna be whatever.
Right. All right.
I think at some point when it's finally too much, he'll put the rest of them one of those the little racks at a convenience store that has all the the community news sheets and whatnot. He's just gonna put the few he's got left just in there, just be
All right, Jacob, as you put those in there, a strong wind starts to move through downtown Emerald City. And it's strong enough that it picks up these soaked brick-like pieces of paper now and actually rips them off of the newsstand a bit.
Oh.
Yeah. So the wind starts to pick up and people are starting to try to seriously take shelter.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He's just gonna abandon whatever posters he had left and get back to Henry and Joey and just be like, well, that's it, all I can do with that.
Poor Joey's struggling to hold onto his umbrella with his pencil-like arms.
So they have it takes a minute, but they managed to find some sort of awning cover.
Mm-hmm.
Put the umbrella down so you can keep it for later because I'm not chasing after an inside-out umbrella.
Yeah, it's probably not doing much anyway.
Yeah, no. Keeping keeping yourself dry from the top doesn't help when it's raining sideways.
This is true.
Yeah.
Jacob says as he tries to shake the water off of him.
Meanwhile, Joey looks down the collection of flags you guys have left. Oh, they're kind of ruined.
Actually, these are still very dry.
Wait, yeah, that's right. Oh, they're so smart.
Unfortunately, the last few I had of mine actually blew away in this wind, so...
Well, he happens to look up randomly. I think we can go inside here and wait till this blows over.
Okay, you guys.
We get the comic panel. We get the comic panel pan up, and it's conveniently his dad's precinct.
Ooh,
nice.
Very nice.
Oh.
Take care of my next question. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, How lucky we ended up here.
Also, pay no attention to the loud cat you hear in the background. He's just needy and thinks he wants everything.
No, he wants everything. He thinks he's entitled to it.
Just Officer Mittens. He's just down the hall down there.
Yes, Taz, we all hear you. Do you want to come be on screen?
So you guys duck inside the precinct as the wind is whipping around. It actually almost rips off not rips off, but it pulls open the door of the police office when you guys are police department when you guys are opening up to get in there. So you go in there, and the phones are ringing off the hook inside there. And the secretaries they have in there, the desk sergeants, you can hear them mostly answering questions about broken windows and about car alarms going off, disturbances, etc. Hello, kitty. And so it's kind of a chaotic scene, but it's less of a oh gosh, crime's going down chaotic, and geez, the weather's bad chaotic. So you guys are inside of the precinct. Are you looking for anybody in particular, or are you just trying to take shelter?
He walks in and notices who's at the desk. Hey, Frank.
And Frank, who's happened to be a frog, why not? Writing that down now. He's holding the phone with one hand and just kind of gives you a wave.
Just dad in his office?
Frank just kind of thumbs over to where your father's office usually.
Cool. And Henry and Joey are well enough known here that they don't even need badges anymore. And since Jacob was with them, it's probably okay.
Nobody seems concerned.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, they walk over to the office of Detective William Lamontagne.
Alrighty, you guys go towards his office, and you see the door is slightly ajar, and the lights are off. And as you get closer, you notice that you can kind of hear with your specifically tuned ears and experience some rustling going on in the office. What do you do?
Well, I don't think anyone's going to be stealing things out of the police station, but just to be safe, let's go spook them.
I mean, you never know.
So, just gonna... Henry also knows where the light switch is. Gonna just walk in, smash the door open, hit the light. Hi, Dad!
So, Henry, you walk in, you turn on the light like that, and instead of spooking your father, you spook a skunk who's in the back of your father's office going through apparently his file cabinet. And after a second of recognition, you realize that this skunk is actually your father's partner, detective. So, Officer Sid. Detective Sid. So he jumps upon, seeing that, jeez, what are you doing here?
Have you not seen what's going on outside, Sid? Pardon the pun, but I think you can get away with it here. It's raining cats and dogs.
Huh. Okay, I haven't heard that one yet for some reason. No, I know what's going on outside. That's why I'm in here. Your father left some files behind that we need. There's apparently a robbery going on further downtown, and we need to get some information on the gang that did it. So, came here. Why are you guys here again? Just getting shelter? Did you need something?
Getting shelter. Figured we randomly ended up here because my boss had me placing flyers for some event. Here, he hands one. We ended up here. It was wet. We figured we'd come inside, say hi to my dad. Next thing I know, we walk by the office. You're in here with the lights off, sifting through files. So forgive me if I'm a little suspicious.
Detective Sid points towards his eyes, and he says, "Don't need them. Didn't have time." Because he's nocturnal.
Jacob gives kind of a shrug, I mean, it's true.
I know that. But until we got here and saw it was you, all we heard was someone going through files in the dark.
I mean, that's true.
I've pierced his mask.
You may. Go ahead.
Oh, right. Moves. We can do that stuff.
Yes, you can. Oh, no, what happened?
What?
Oh, that's what happened.
What happened?
I accidentally backed out of the game somehow because my mouse was being screwy.
Oops.
Boom! Full hit.
Nice.
I can't see it, so I don't believe it. No, I'm sure.
It's 11. All right, when you pierce someone's mask to see the person beneath, roll plus mundane. On a 10 plus, ask 3. So, first things first. What are you really planning?
Okay. What is Detective Sid really planning? What he's really planning is to... Let's see, really planning is the immediate one, right? Yeah. What he's really planning to do is to basically take as much time as he can back here looking for stuff. He's basically wasting time, so he doesn't have to go back out in the bad weather.
How can I gain influence over you?
You can gain influence over him. You can, this pretty assuredly by probably either talking him up to to your father, or by doing something that makes his job easier.
How can I get him to go back and help my dad? I love I wasn't expecting that.
It wasn't. What you could probably do, you could act. It's actually pretty easy. You figured that you could, if you basically wait in your father's office, like you more or less plop yourself in here, and you make yourselves a presence. That'll make him feel guilty enough that he won't want to stick around and look like he's wasting time.
So, Henry knows Detective Sid's real first name, right?
Yes, you do.
Is it what's posted in our chat here?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, because like Henry will do the professional stuff if they're in public, but he's much more this is his dad's partner, so he's much more casual. So okay, Chet. What gang? Because I can probably help search through the files to find the gang name. Don't have to look through anything because you know how my father files things.
He gives one of those big, long sighs. It's just the, need a gang name. Actually, I can ask you. You're the heroes. Name a low-level gang that's been being a little bit of a nuisance around the city. Go for it.
Bad News Bears.
It is now official.
Yes.
What's funny is you were giggling about that. I was giggling about the chain gang.
Right.
And I can only think of the Soggy Bottom Boys. I'm like, not yours.
Kiki in chat with the Bloodhound gang. I actually like that one a lot.
I think I'll stick with Bad News Bears for now. Maybe the rival is the Bloodhound Gang. We'll see.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so he just kind of sighs and says, Bad News Bears. They're just over there, and they're just, raising a tear for Mrs. McGillicuddy. We gotta take care of it and make sure it matches the patterns. And I know where it is. Got the file. And he pulls it out.
Henry looks at Jacob and Joey. Well, I don't know about you guys, but since I now have the day off and the weather is awful out there, I don't want to go back in. Hey, Jacob, that drawer right in front of you.
He looks down.
I'm gonna open it up. The TV remote's in there.
Opens it up.
Your father does, of course, have a small TV in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Finds TV remote.
Yep.
Tosses it to Henry because he doesn't know to watch.
Just turns it on whatever's on the TV, which is probably either the Weather Channel or Sports Center.
There we go, yeah. Let's say it's Sports Center. Be nice and flashy and obnoxious to people who don't like sports.
Henry's like, nope. Clicks to the Weather Channel.
Okay, there it goes. And the Weather Channel, you see a frustrated weatherman there, standing in front of the sea of charts with arrows going up and down of all the temperatures. and with some clouds in the background. And he's just like, it's happening again! Darn it! It's like, now we got hail coming. I think there's a cold front. Makes no sense.
So
I quit.
Yeah, so Jacob's actually going to turn and look towards Henry. It doesn't say anything, but he actually has a concerned look on his face.
Henry has the exact same concerned look.
Meanwhile, Chetskov just shaking his head and saying, yeah, it's gotta be noisy. Just don't mess anything up, all right? I don't want your dad to think.
To think you were in here wasting time?
And not wanting to get wet?
You're good kids. Stay safe out there.
You too.
And Chet walks out the door.
Henry walks over, shuts the door, immediately looks at Jacob. Didn't?
Pyrie.
Perry or Pyrie, whichever.
Yeah. Didn't Perry say something about stealing a weather machine?
We did at some point.
You don't think?
I don't think he's doing it, no.
No, I meant, well, yeah, thankfully. So here's the awkward part of this.
Mm-hmm.
If we are going to go look into this, we can't leave from here.
Right?
George kind of looks at you as, why not?
Well, because...
Identity thing. We've been seen coming in here. If we leave and then we're not here and then two
Exactly.
superheroes are out there, a human and a rabbit, you know, someone
You're
might
here
be able to
by yourself.
Yeah, you're here by yourself. Things might get linked. So what do we do?
I don't know.
Joey kind of raises his hand. I could cover for you guys and just stay here.
Okay. What are you going to tell my father when he comes back and questions you incessantly?
My go-to is that you're in the bathroom.
Okay. And I've been in the bathroom for how many hours?
It's kind of hard to believe, isn't it?
I mean, you could say you had some bad eggplant parmesan.
Yeah.
Fair. I do want to remind you, because my father loves to remind us that he has guns in places we didn't know had places.
Right.
Did you know they make straps to hide guns by your kidneys?
How do you get them out?
I don't know.
So do we try to sneak out of here? Or do we just officially leave? This wouldn't make any sense because we just got here.
Right, I mean, I guess the question is it just crazy weather? Is this a test run? Because if it's just a test run for the crazy weather, what are we going to do about it?
Finding the source would actually be pretty difficult too, I would have to imagine.
I mean, did Perry ever mention where he got the thing from?
I'm sure he did, but I don't remember.
I don't know if he ever told you guys, honestly.
I don't remember. Actually, not even being out of, yeah, so.
Wait a second. I'm trying to remember something. It's like from DM perspective. I have a note here that somebody told Perry their secret identity. Well, no. Perry specifically didn't know the secret identity. That's right.
Right.
Yes and no. But, well, is there a computer in here? It's got to be, right?
Yeah, it's detective's office.
Right. So Jacob's gonna
No.
What?
You want to go on my dad's computer?
I want to check the weather. As in, I want to see if there's any patterns to see where it's coming from.
It's right up there on the TV screen.
Yeah, but the TV screen's not going to show everything we want to see at the same time.
I'm not. I don't know my dad's password.
Oh. Is it locked? No, just the mouse.
It's a detective's computer. Of course it's locked.
Shoot. Well, never mind.
Joey starts looking around. Maybe he hit the password like on a sticky note or in a locked drawer.
He just looks at Joey like a detective would leave his password like taped to the bottom of a desk.
Player question.
Yes, go on.
What year are we in game?
In game, I'm saying early 2000s, so like 2013, 2014.
Okay. Can we call it 2015 for ease? No, 2014 actually makes more sense for this.
Sweet. Okay.
Henry looks over. HM9904.
Huh?
What?
HM9904.
So Jacob puts that in.
Okay. You tap it in?
Yep.
Cool. Do you capitalize the H and the M?
Yes?
Good. You get in.
He looks over at Henry's like, what does that even mean?
My first initial, my brother's first initial in the years we were born.
Of course.
Brilliant. It's so smart.
So, Jacob's gonna pull up a web browser and like pull up just like some weather at like Emerald City weather website. It's like, all right, so want to see if there's any kind of pattern or any. And he's taking this out loud. Like, I'm looking to see if there's any kind of pattern in these weather patterns to see if we can determine a source, or at least an epicenter.
Well, as you look on the website stuff, you get the, of course, message saying like websites undergoing maintenance or websites experiencing downtime because of the inclement weather, but you're able to determine enough to see what the weather radar is currently saying. And the weather radar shows those typical like swirly things that you usually see, the cloud patterns and stuff. And when you zoom in closer to Emerald City, which I'm assuming you do, you see what seems to be a concentrated, deep swirl of color that's just like plopped right downtown. It's weirdly small, but weirdly violent, and it seems to be changing colors like a kaleidoscope.
Well, that looks like it's something. Well, now that we have a destination, we still gotta figure out how to get out of here.
Do it kind of looks as a destination?
Yeah, right there. Points to the big blob.
But that's just downtown Emerald City. That's where we are.
It's not concentrated anywhere.
I mean, the kind of map that you can see from a weather radar. It's kind of generic and like.
Oh, I thought you were saying it was concentrated someplace. But
Yeah.
Concentrated in downtown Emerald City.
the whole thing, right? Yeah.
That's pretty concentrated for weather.
It is though, yeah.
Okay, look. If we want to leave, we leave. It's not that hard. Like, we can just walk out of here. That's not the hard part.
No.
What's the hard part?
The hard part is the fact that if any of us are caught anywhere near downtown during this, and he looks at the computer screen, it's not going to be too hard to figure out. Remember, my dad's a detective.
Yeah.
His partner saw us in here.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he did.
So if we're going to be investigating, like, where this weather stuff is coming from, then we need an alibi, right?
Yes.
We have those flyers. I mean, We can be in the same place at the same time.
Joey, hon, who's going to believe we're putting up flyers in a windstorm like that?
Probably not many.
I mean, maybe Chet, but definitely not my dad. Although, I do have an idea.
Oh yeah?
Hmm.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Go on.
But I need to roll Dangerous Web first.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
I'm very curious what this is going to actually do.
Yep, I will explain either way, but Dangerous Web, like the roll will determine what I do with this.
Eleven's tonight. Okay.
Oh!
So explain for our readers what Dangerous Web does again.
Okay, so using your powers, you lay a trap for somebody. When you do this, roll plus your mask's label. In this case, it's freak. On a hit, they stumble into your trap. On a 10 plus, gain +1 forward while pursuing this.
So who are you springing this on?
Henry just looks, goes, then sort of reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small satchel. Well, we could justify ourselves being there by returning these to their owner.
What are those?
Oh, one thing you might not know about Chet, he's very superstitious. Those are his lucky dice.
Oh.
I may have snagged them when we were sitting there talking, just so we had an alibi.
Gotcha.
Didn't even see you do that.
Of course. I'm a phantom.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, going furial.
Yeah. Did you happen to notice when I walked up close to help him with the files?
Oh. So smart. Well, cool. So what do we gotta do with these then? Just go do superheroing stuff, and then when it's all done, we give him back the dice?
Well, he said that the bad news bears were going and bothering Mrs. McGillicuddy,
Mm-hmm.
which, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't she the little old lady who owns the bakery in downtown?
I think so, yeah.
So there's going to be a perimeter. We use the guise of, we have the flyers, and we say, well, we were going to do them, but when we showed up here, you dropped these, and I know how these are, so we figured we'd bring them back. And yeah, I'll get yelled at a little bit, but it gets us where we need to be.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for the record, as Henry's explaining this, we get the screen, the flashback, and it's not actually Henry going ghost at all. He literally just pickpockets him.
Oh, so he didn't use his ghost powers to do it.
Absolutely not. He literally just pickpocketed him.
Good to know.
Detective Sid's not very lucky.
No, he's not.
So, Henry walks over to the little coat storage in his dad's office, opens it up, and takes out a raincoat that's clearly his and puts it on. I don't know about the rest of you, but I keep one here.
I can't say I keep one here because I don't ever come here.
Henry looks reluctantly and hands it to Joey.
Oh, thanks. Right, because you have to suit up.
No,
No?
but he looks. Do I look any different to you right now?
No?
Try and touch me.
Joey pokes you.
Goes right through.
Oh, the weather isn't going to hurt you if you're intangible.
Nope.
Well, that's good for you. What am I going to do?
Joey pulls out his umbrella.
Henry pulls out his umbrella.
You can take 2.
Right. Feel like I'm going to be flying across the entire place with umbrellas, but that's fine.
Oh, let's just... We don't have to investigate this.
No. I think we do.
I mean, he looks, he goes, I pickpocketed a detective so we could do this.
Yeah, so we're doing this. I'm not going to have you waste that on not doing this.
Oh, absolutely not. It's kind of fun, actually.
So you guys are fully equipped, sort of, to take on a rainstorm. Do you guys try to leave, then, the precinct?
Yeah, if they figure it's been like a half hour or so
Yeah.
they'll head out and leave. Later, Frank.
Frank kind of croaks by. So you guys head outside, and it's gotten somehow worse. The wind is whipping really violently, and you can hear the sound of what sounds like marbles hitting the sidewalk, which is clearly hail.
Well, that's a thing.
Huh. Those clouds look like they might form a tornado or something, too.
Yeah, we should definitely go make sure my dad's okay. Because
Yeah, probably.
So I mean, I trust myself in a tornado, except for the whole getting sick part, because we all know how that happens.
Yeah. I can lie in a ditch somewhere.
You will do no such thing.
Yes.
And Henry looks, although I do love it when skinny jeans get wet.
I mean, all you have to do is stand aside right now for that. You know what? Never mind.
So what am I gonna do, Henry?
Well, right now we're just looking around.
Okay. So,
We're just going to drop off these lucky dice to a paranoid detective who may or may not enjoy the craps table.
so you guys leave the police precinct, and you're already kind of in downtown because that's where the police precinct is. But you start heading towards the McGillicuddy Bakery, and on the way there, the storm keeps getting worse and worse, and the hail gets larger and even bigger. And Jacob, you're having trouble holding on to your umbrellas,
Well, yeah.
of course.
I can't assume that was a good man thing.
Do you even bother keep trying to keep them
No.
up?
No, not really.
Put them away and
Yeah, at some point they're just going to become completely useless. You're just like, whatever.
So you put the umbrellas away. Joey takes one of his back. Well, they're both his, but he'll let you have one. And as you guys are fighting to get down towards the police precinct, we can actually see a big. Go on.
You mean the bakery, right?
Yeah, sorry, bakery. I didn't get turned around. You go towards the bakery, which is actually on the map. Neat.
you got the idea.
Nice.
And we get a nice big panel that's a zoom in of a crystalline icicle spike. And it is rocketing down towards the earth. And it comes crashing with a loud boom bang right through several store windows you see on your side. As in, like, it hits one, and then other iceling spikes hit more of the store windows as you're walking past, shattering glass all over the street.
That's a thing.
Yeah, I don't think weather's supposed to do that.
Not that precisely.
And as it shatters the glass, and these storefronts are now just kind of open as people are still trying to scream and take cover, you notice that some people are not trying to take cover. They're trying to get inside those stores that are now open. They're trying to steal from those storefront windows.
So Jacob kind of gives Henry a look, and then does the thing where he runs off to like some place behind a wall or something, and by the time he returns, he's suited up.
And Henry, what do you do?
He's just gonna look at the people trying to go in, and hey! You shouldn't be doing that. It's wrong.
Actually, Henry, do me a favor and roll to provoke. Not provoke. Provoke.
Okay, this is gonna end badly. I love
It is.
Potential.
Yep.
Oh my. Okay. So, unfortunately, nobody really seems to be listening to you because they're literally torn out of your breath from the wind whipping past you. But you do notice that at least one or two people seem to feel a little bit guilty at you there, like pointing out what they're doing. But these people are the ones who are taking from like the clothing store and like the candy shop because we're in the 1930s. But the people who are in the jewelry store, like these guys who are donned up like head to toe, and
they're not looters of opportunity. They were prepared for this.
Yes, they are clearly weather prepared, and they don't care a whit about your words.
Joey, hon?
Yeah.
Go hide in the candy shop.
Okay.
Or the clothing store, either one.
Candy shop, on it.
Okay.
So he scampers towards the candy shop.
And at this point, Henry's going to sort of walk in. Hey! You! Idiot with the ring!
One of the robbers does turn around. He's wearing a nice blinged out ring that he stole from the jewelry store. Huge diamond. And he has a gun ready. And he's like, "Hey, stay back, man! This is my."
So as he's saying that, Jacob comes. Swiftfoot comes out of nowhere with just like a punch directly to the face.
Okay, you come out of nowhere. You sock this guy in the face.
We still have comms, or just the cell phone comms that we use still?
I mean, you still have your cell phone comms, as it were.
Okay, cool.
Go on.
No, I want to see how this plays out before I do my next move.
Okay. So, Jacob, you come in and you sock this guy clean, and he's just a regular thug. Like, his bag of jewelry goes kind of scattering across. And the other guys look out as they see you kind of rushing in and do it.
Well, now the question is, because you're not super fast, but you're still fast.
Oh, he is very. He is very, very fast. It's just he wasn't doing that for the posters, but.
Yeah. So do you stay in the room or do you zip out?
It'd be funny if he zipped out immediately.
That's actually what I'm hoping you were going to say.
Yes.
So, the guy, to them, it just looks like this guy gets clocked by a blur and just collapses. Henry is now then going to look at the others. So, like I said, what you're doing is wrong, and do you really want to make me have to do that again?
They just kind of look at you, and they're wearing like ski masks, so you can only really see their eyes. But they get kind of big, and like one of them pulls their gun out at you, whereas like about three other guys behind him starting to like shuffle jewelry into their bags as fast as they can.
So,
do that if I were you.
So Jacob again does a run by with the guy who pointed, with the guy who's got the gun, and once again just socks him right in the face.
Okay.
And zips out again.
And his gun goes flying across. And as that happens, the other guys kind of look back, and they look at you, Henry. They say, "We got supers!"
Henry smiles at them. I haven't done anything, but if I were you, I'd probably run. And then he looks, Boom.
And they start grabbing their jewelry and running out the door with their big sacks of cash.
So, yeah.
Now, as they start running, Henry knows that he's got them panicked, so he's going to let Jacob take a couple. Henry's just going to stick his foot out and trip one of them.
Jacob's going to just, like, as they're just running with these big things on their back, he's just going to, like, just jump them from behind and just slam their faces into the ground and just take the bags and, like, bring it back into the store.
Okay. Jacob, as you're trying to engage these guys who have run outside of the store by the time you get to them, I need you to actually roll to engage, roll to directly engage.
Oof.
Okay. So, directly engage.
Okay, I need that.
Yeah, that's just okay. So, Jacob, you run up there and you try to like clothesline these guys down, and as you're running towards them at your top speed, mysteriously it gets ridiculously cold, and the water that's beneath your feet turns into a slick sheet of ice because of how cold it gets in that concentrated area, and you go sliding past these guys, and you go careening into like the side of a curb really hard.
Ouch.
I need you to roll to take a powerful blow.
Of course, I rolled that with 0.
Okay, so on 7 to 9, you get to choose one.
Yeah, hold on. I should have had that up earlier.
I have a really dumb idea.
This is the time for dumb ideas.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Jacob is going to struggle past the pain in Mark II conditions.
Alrighty. Okay, so you go sliding into the curb and you take a hit, and these guys who got their jewelry, they look back and they see that happening. And Henry, what do you do as you see all this going on?
So Henry looks down at the guy who got punched out in front of him when pointed the gun, and he happens to look down and see this very heavy-looking tiara.
Ooh.
And he picks up the tiara and chucks it at one of the two guys running away.
Alrighty. So
He's Wonder Woman in this dude.
it's a good move. I'm going to need you again to roll to directly engage on these guys specifically. All right, Henry. Same thing for you. Wait a second. No.
No, I didn't miss.
This is the good one. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, what are you doing?
I am going to impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Okay. So, Henry.
There's no way a skinny child that looks like Henry should be able to chuck a tiara that forcefully at somebody's head.
So we get this nice panel of Henry like reeling back and whipping out this tiara. And it flies towards these guys. And it just ping-pongs off both of their skulls at once. And as it does, it knocks them down to the ground. And the bag of jewels just kind of falls down on the ground there before them. And as the jewels are on there, again, the weather starts to pick up. And when it does, the torrential downpour starts again with the heavy water coming. And the water is going so hard that since these jewels are in the middle of the street, it's actually creating a bit of a wave that's pushing them down street. So, Jacob, you recover yourself as you get up, and you see this happening where these jewels are sliding out of control down the street in this wave of water. What do you do?
Trying to think how he's gonna do this. So he's gonna pick himself up, obviously, like shake off, like okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna see them like going, and he's gonna run after them. He's gonna try to pounce them from behind once again. And
Pounce onto the jewels?
what?
Pounce onto the jewels, you said?
Well, onto them to get the jewels back. I'll tell you how it works if I in fact roll this badly.
Well, you're not engaging with anybody.
Oh, I thought you said they were going. What's going down?
The jewels are going down the street.
Oh, the thieves aren't. Okay. Yeah, no, then I'm just gonna run.
The thieves are on the ground.
Yeah.
With the Sailor Moon tiara.
Okay.
Yeah. The jewels are still going down the
Right.
street.
Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna like try to dive after them, so to speak,
Okay.
running like super fast down that way.
Okay, so the water is really thick
Mm-hmm.
as you're running down the street. It makes it kind of difficult to run properly. Unless, are you fast enough to run on water?
I mean, super speed, possibly.
It's your call to make.
Well, he's never really done it before. If he is,
Ooh.
You know, this sounds like to me, don't you?
Yeah.
I do.
You could unleash your powers to do so. Hey! So, what are we gonna do?
I don't want to mark 3 conditions that quickly, so
No.
I'll take unstable or temporary
Okay.
because I just needed to get to the things.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. I love every minute of this.
So you run after these jewels in the water, and your speed is really impressive. You actually you're just skipping across this water as you go, and you manage to kind of do a bit of a drive-by as you to reach down and pick up the jewels. And there are 2 bags of jewels, and you manage to get one of them, but you stop a bit as to grab one of them because you got to slow down to pick it up, and that's just enough for you to sink into the water and have the other one kind of rush out of your grasp. So you got one bag of the jewels. But the other bag of jewels is still going down the road pretty quickly. And you look ahead of you, and you can see that there is a large storm drain that this water is all going right towards. And those jewels are making a beeline for it. Now, Henry, are you keeping an eye on all this, or you have other concerns?
Well, Henry is watching this, but at the same time, he knows better than to let, all of these people get away.
Mm-hmm.
So, jewels into a storm drain, that's sort of blah. So, while this has been going on, Henry has been utilizing things he has found to tie them up. So, most of these robbers have now been tied up in the corner, and they are tied together using some high-strength steel jewelry chains.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what he's been, and then he's going to look, and this is only the second time this has happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
But this time it's going to attempt to get some more information as to what's going on, because what happens in the natural world can also affect the supernatural world.
Ooh.
Henry's going to try and look into the supernatural world for some information. He's going to roll out of this world.
Please tell me how that works and what it does.
All right. When you plug into the cosmic aether, or in this case, the supernatural world of spirits, and tune out of this world, roll plus freak. On a hit, you come to a new, interesting insight about your current problem and situation. The GM will tell you what. On a 10 plus, you can also shift your own labels to match your new understanding. On a miss, you realize something dangerous or terrible. The GM will tell you what and shift your labels accordingly.
Oh my.
Yes, the Janus took a move from the Nomad book.
That fits.
Interesting.
I haven't had a chance to roll it until right now.
I'm glad I gave it to you.
So am I, because apparently all I roll is 11s on my rolls.
My goodness.
On my moves.
So you're going to shift your own labels to
Based
match
off
your
of
new
what you
understanding.
tell me.
Right.
Based off of what you tell me.
I
So
just tell you
what's
something.
in the supernatural world that's going to give me insight into what's happening here?
The supernatural world.
Yeah, basically, the spirits, the ghosts and the spirits, and
Oh, I know what that means.
yeah. The land of the Ged. Not the dead, the Ged.
Why the Ged?
Because that's Ged. So the Ged are the Haitian guardians of the realm of spirits.
Oh, okay.
So Ghede, the Ged.
Okay. So, what's it look like when you tap into this ethereal world, Henry?
Well, it's weird because this first time happening isn't Henry doing it voluntarily. It's involuntarily happening. And if we remember way, way back when we started this campaign, there was a scene in school where Henry had a vision in like a swampy area where a voice was talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like. It's this weird sort of swampy, bayou-esque area. If you were just looking at this as like a regular scene, it would look normal, just out out in the woods style thing. But whatever this is basically the barrier. From my perspective, this is the barrier between the world of the living and the world of the dead.
I see.
So that's kind of what it looks like. And Henry just sort of appears here. And, well, I leave the rest to you, Mr. GM.
Okay, so, Henry, you appear on the spirit plane, tapping into the ether to see what you can understand about the world around you and your current situation. And what you see before you is sort of a ghostly vision. And you see a ghostly vision of a woman. And what you can see is she's actually kind of directing you. You can see like her eyes glowing, but nothing else feature-wise. And she's pointing downriver. And as she's pointing downriver, she's saying to you that you have to guide them. And she also adds to you that what we have is near. And if you can't get it back to us, maybe we'll have to select another.
So
go on.
No.
Yeah. Also, as you're pointing down there, you can see what seems to be a sea of empty graves. And these graves are kind of lining the river. And as I said, most of them are empty, with bodies kind of either coming out of them, like good old zombie stuff that you see. And you catch a glimpse of one of the tombstones there for the graves that seems to be under construction. And as you look at that tombstone, you get a little bit closer. You can see the name Sutherland being kind of chiseled onto it.
Okay, that's going to snap him out of this weird glowy-eyed thing. So first things first, mechanic-wise, freak up Mundane down because, gosh darn, he just walked in the damn realm of the spirits. I think that's the only thing that makes sense there.
Makes sense.
And he's just going to look and he's going to look down at the flowing downriver and just sort of like, I hope you got this, and then run to the candy shop.
Okay. So, Sobe, you run to the candy shop.
Oh, this isn't Sobe, this is still Henry.
Henry, that's important. So Henry runs to the candy shop. Jacob, you got one bag of jewels, the other jewels are drifting down from drain.
So,
do you do anything?
Oh yeah, so Jacob's gonna like give a little bit of a huff, and then he's gonna stand up, and he's going to charge his burn.
That's right, you can do that.
Yes, since I now have 2 conditions, this will be easier.
That's what I thought too.
Oh!
Nice.
That's hole 3, nothing else.
Beautiful stuff. So when you charge a burn, what's that look like for Jacob anyway?
So, it's not like fire. It's sort of like flames, but not like orange or blue flames. It's kind of like this odd purplish kind of like aura that like kind of builds up around him. It's a dark It's like a dark purple almost, it's not glowing necessarily, whatnot, but you can see it. It surrounds him and, like, coalesces on his, just, around his, like, wrists and whatnot, as if, like, he's, about to channel something. And he, I'm going to, kind of take a little bit of liberty here at this, but it is, the flare is called Moat. So,
I like it.
he's basically going to, because it says, like, spend 1 burn to create a barrier that will hold back threats, as long as you keep your attention to it. So, he's actually going to use it to create, basically, a ditch for that bag to fall into before it hits the storm drain.
So, not to ruin the awesome moment, but I do want to ask, this bag is going in a flowing thing of water. How are you getting it out of the water, or are you taking the water? Because that could overflow.
Oh, I mean, it's just, since it's going to be, it's going to have a way for the water to, it's going to have, like, a little hole in it so the water can drain out, but it's, the bag's going to be massive, so.
I love it. It's like a psychic water filter.
Exactly.
It's a psychic sewer grate.
Exactly, yeah. So this just kind of opens up on the street, like at the road, basically. And all he needs is enough time for him to stand up, run over to the bag, grab it, and then as he's leaving, it would dissipate.
Okay, so Jacob, you put up this big barrier to catch this bag of jewels. The water just comes streaming off it in the bag, sitting nice and safe for you to go in and get. And as you're running down there to get the bag, the wind hits really hard behind you. Like it's pushing you forward towards this. And it's actually very difficult for you to grab onto the bag. In fact, the wind pushes you so hard that it blows you past the bag and onto the street. The barrier still holds, but that bag is kind of sitting up there. And clearly something pushed you away from there.
So as that's happening, I'm going to spend another one of my burn to now enact shielding.
Mm-hmm.
Basically creating a shield so he, like, that for himself to slam into, so he doesn't go that far away.
Okay, I like that you're using your abilities this way. It's creative.
Yeah. So what you see is, you see this thing kind of rip, this, like, ditch or whatever, just rip open in the street, just, like, psychically in front of, like, just there. And then as Jacob starts getting, like, flown away, he instead kind of slams into, like, a dark purple wall suddenly, which is as a, ow! Oh, I shouldn't do that. As he slides down, he's still able to, like, just grab that bag.
Good stuff. Okay, so you slide down to hitting that, you get the bag, and the wind is hitting you really hard, trying to push you against that wall, and eventually, weirdly enough, it feels like the wind gives up in frustration. And you don't feel a force trying to push you against that anymore. And so you were able to get that bag of jewels and get it safely out of the street as the water stops being quite as torrential. But you do notice as you're back on the street with that bag of jewels and things are kind of safe, that there are still some looters coming out of a nearby pawn shop. And some of them are dressed like those guys you took out of the jewelry store. And they are specifically carrying armfuls of, like, jeweled watches and stuff out of the nearest pawn shop. Clearly, this is an organized thing.
Yeah.
What do you do, buddy?
There comes a point where he's done most everything he really can. Oh, wait, no.
Okay.
I have one more burn.
You do. That's why I was giving you something.
So, construct. So, what happens is, he sees, like, he's got this bag, he kind of, like, sitting down at the curb, almost like, he looks up and sees this thing, it's just like, oh my god, why? So he, stands up and channels his bird again, and, makes a pier, and now it can't be animated, because I would need 2, and I only have 1 burn for this. But still, it's going to be, like, just appears directly in front of these guys. Just this fearsome, ferocious, like, looking like werewolf just like pops up at them.
Jeez.
And and gives a. They may hear a snarl. Not sure where it comes from necessarily, but yeah, it's just
the wind being as loud as it is. It's probably hard
exactly,
to
yeah. So as I say, it shows up, and it's like got its claws ready, like it's ready to pounce and whatnot. It's staring at him in such a way that it looks like he's ready to pounce. Although again, since it can't be animated, it's not. But
It's all right. So you make this werewolf giant creature appear in front of these guys, and we get this huge looming panel just kind of over these guys as they squeal in terror, and they fall back and like drop the jeweled watches and such on the ground, and they're scrambling to get away from it, leaving their loot kind of on the ground.
So once they drop it, Jacob or Swiftfoot would run and as fast as he could up there to grab it too and take it back.
Alrighty, so Swiftfoot now, as you're going around and returning the ill-gotten gains back to their rightful place, we're going to join our friend Henry. Henry, you went back to the candy shop. And when you go in there, you don't find Joey. What you find is you found some kids who were like doing some looting. But it's otherwise pretty empty. But what you do find as you go into the candy stores, you do find the back door swinging open because it's pretty obvious. And that back door is leading into an alleyway.
Oh, he's running.
Good. Okay, so you run out that back door. And when you run out, what you come across is a scene of what looks to be one of those masked robbers that was there. And they're holding a gun, pointing it towards Joey. As they're clearly trying to like mug him because they're like saying the words like "your water, your life, kid," and Joey's like fumbling with his wallet and like not sure what to do. And the guy looks up and sees you rush out, and he makes a grab for Joey as you rush out and he sees you, and you can see that he's trying to put the gun towards the kid's head, and he starts shouting at you like, "Don't do anything, buddy. I'll do it."
Henry takes a deep breath. How many are in the alley? How many bad guys in the alley? Just the one?
Just the one.
Okay. Look, you clearly don't want to do this. You're shaking. I can see it. And every time he says this, he's slowly walking towards them.
Go ahead and roll to provoke.
Henry wasn't trying to provoke just yet. You'll know what he is.
Okay.
I'll roll it right now if you want me to, but he's not trying to provoke just yet.
Okay, so you're trying to slowly walk towards this guy. You're telling him to, like, basically jig us up, so to speak?
Yeah.
Okay. So this guy's eyes are wide. And he's, like, shaking his head at you. And he's going to say, don't come any closer, man. I'll do it, all right?
Well, how about this? How about we make a deal? And Henry's still walking closer. How about instead of shooting him, if you're so scared of me walking towards you, why don't you shoot me?
There's your provoke.
There's my provoke. You'll know when it happens. Womp womp. But advance.
So, Henry, you tell this guy to shoot you instead. And the guy shakes his head. And he starts kind of like clearly getting that wild look in his eye. As he just kind of starts shouting louder and like, I'll do it. And as you're getting closer, a shape pierces through the rain. and hits this guy's arm, his shooting arm, going through it like a knife. And the guy screams out as a gunshot goes off. And yeah, no, we're not going to end there.
Okay, that's why I didn't want to say anything. Is like, are we waiting? Well, I guess the question is, because Henry's walking towards and seeing this.
He is.
Which direction does the shot come from? Does it push his arm away from Joey or towards him?
It actually pushes his arm somewhat inwards. Because he's like this, it pushes his arm in like this. And like, the gunshot goes off. And go, you want to do something.
Do I have enough time to try and save him?
Save who?
Both of them.
You can try. Go ahead. What are you going to do?
Well, because again, I maintained the entire time I was walking towards them.
Yes, you did.
So at this point, Henry's just going to put everything he has to jump forward. And Joey is the priority, obviously. But he's basically trying to reach out to grab both of them and to make them transparent, ethereal.
Ooh.
And the reason specifically I said Joey is the priority is because this is targeting him and I get the influence bonus.
You do. That's true. I'm more wondering if I want you to even bother rolling for it because I want it to work. But that's what this is for. Roll to unleash your powers.
Well, keep in mind, just because he misses doesn't mean it doesn't work.
Oh, no, it doesn't mean it doesn't work.
Is this an unleash or is this a defend?
Oh, when you defend somebody from themselves. I'd call that a defend. Sure.
Well, I'm specifically asking because one has higher chance to succeed than the other one does.
Actually, hold on. Let me take a look at these and see which one actually is better.
Don't look at the book. Just give it your,
It's not that. Like, those both work. I'm just trying to think of,
The
like...
correct answer to this is defend because unleash your powers is the catch-all when nothing else seems to make sense.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. So I think defend does work here. So yeah, roll to defend.
I'm going to spend team selfishly.
Makes sense. How do you spend team selfishly?
So basically, it's insulting your teammates and showing, how they're horrible and all that. And it's more going to be afterwards, but basically you're just going to hear Henry say, well, sometimes the easy trick where you have multiple people works. Other times, you got to do things yourself because people are unreliable. And he's saying it loud enough into the phone comm so that Jacob can hear it.
Ooh.
Savior up, superior down.
And Jacob, these words hit you hard. And I'm going to need you to lower your savior and to raise your danger.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And
I got something hard to use.
Yep. So on a 7 to 9, I keep them safe, and I escalate the situation or expose myself to danger.
Okay.
The fun move here is to expose myself to danger.
Do you get to choose that, or either way? Doesn't matter.
I choose which one. I choose to either escalate the situation or expose myself to danger.
Right, and you expose yourself to danger by putting yourself, like, basically front and center there, right?
Basically, my thought process is Henry's trying to grab them, and feel free to adjust this. My thought process is Henry's going to grab them to make them incorporeal, and he managed to get there, but he makes them incorporeal, doesn't make himself incorporeal, and gets shot.
Ooh. Okay. So, what actually happens is because you make them incorporeal. Yeah, you do. putting yourself right in the path, but the gunshot has already kind of been going off as you're grabbing them. So you're fine. You don't get shot. But what instead happens is after you make these guys incorporeal and they fall back on the ground, and the guy who shot the gun, by the way, is freaking out as he's like dropped his gun and his arm's bleeding because he has a pierce mark that goes through it. And Henry, what happens is when you do that and you find yourself still corporeal laying on the rain, basically over these guys, you actually do feel a piercing blow that seems to graze past you and stab this guy's other arm. And the guy clearly is just kind of like in agony there as he's laying. Joey, by the way, is scrambling to get up. And he's trying to get you up too. But you notice as you guys are getting as he's helping you get up and you're kind of getting footing, and you look up, you see a large, dark, shadowy shape looming over you and hanging from literally the wall of the alley. And
Henry immediately gets in front of Joey.
And you can tell from a clear glance that the shape is holding what appears to be some sort of a glinting object in its hands. And you also know from descriptions, because it's very clear, this is Nightshade. And this gravelly voice breaks out from the rain. And it doesn't, and he doesn't lower his weapon as his eyes kind of widen at you in the narrow. And he says, "Run."
Henry looks square at Nightshade. Thank you. And they run back into the candy store.
Alrighty. So you run back into the candy store as the
I
rain.
wasn't running by him.
What? What'd you say?
I certainly wasn't running by him.
So you run away from the candy store. You're going back into the candy.
What was that?
You're going back into the candy store then from the back door that you came out of?
Well, because the only other option is to run past Nightshade out of the alleyway.
Right, and you don't want to do that.
No!
So you just take Joey and you guys run, and Joey's clearly panicked behind you. So when you guys duck into the candy store, you hear screaming coming from the alley, but Joey is safe. And he is hugging you like no tomorrow.
Henry is doing the exact same thing.
I thought I was going to lose you.
I think it's the other way around. I wasn't the one with the gun pointed at me.
And it's about this time, Swiftfoot, you finish your duties of returning the jewelry.
Yeah, so...
And you come in and you see these guys arm in arm.
So, by then, he would have gotten the jewelry back, found a place to change back, and now he's Jacob again, and runs into the candy store at a more normal bunny speed. And he sees this and he's like, "Oh, what happened to you two?" Whew.
Yeah.
Joey can barely talk, by the way. He's just kind of trying to catch his breath.
What was all that on the comms about?
Someone was trying to shoot Joey. And
Jacob's eyes get kind of wide, even though he's breathing. I'm like, wait, what?
and my trump card wasn't there. I was a little mad. A lot mad.
Sorry, I was taking care of everybody else down there. I got the jewels back, though.
Apparently, whatever's happening, and this is going to be really weird sounding, but in the middle of all this, I had a vision where I was in like this weird swampy graveyard. I saw half a tombstone with Joey's name on it, which is why I came running here. But apparently, I'm supposed to figure out what's going on. Apparently, something is almost ready, and I don't know. I forgot half of what it was said. I just know that it was. I had to come here.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one who gets cryptic visions. So Jacob kind of walks over towards you guys and just kind of sits on the floor next to you guys. Just like, gets all like, ugh.
Hey, Joy, by the way, is kind of inconsolable, but he's happy. He's just also just,
Joe.
You guys okay?
Joey, I wasn't going to let anything happen to you.
I know. It was so close. I don't know if I want to be a superhero.
I know I don't want you to be one.
I'm so glad you were there.
Me too. Me too.
That nightshade almost killed me.
So at that, Jacob kind of looks up like, wait, what?
So Nightshade went to do whatever Nightshade does and hit this goon in the arm, but he hit his trigger hand and a bullet went off. Had I not been there, there would be brain matter all over an alleyway.
Jacob kind of like puts his head back a bit and he actually looks kind of devastated at the moment. Even my parents are right.
What do you mean?
This vigilante stuff. Maybe it is too much for us.
Maybe.
No,
But I
it's
can't.
my fault.
No, this isn't your fault at all.
No. I don't even know what happened entirely. No, Joey, it's not your fault.
Jacob, I can't just not help people.
Trust me, I understand. I feel the same. But, as you said, if you hadn't been there, Nightshade would have apparently accidentally caused the death of... He just stops and just shakes his head.
Well, there is one other option if we still want to help people.
Absolutely.
We do the one thing we've been avoiding.
What's that?
We go through the legal channels, the proper ones.
That's actually why I wanted to be a hero in the first place, because they never seem to be good enough. No offense to your father or anything, just that they can't be.
That's the thing, is they can't. But maybe if they have people who they can deploy who can. I'm so grounded if we tell him, though.
Yeah, so am I. Let's not. Besides, I still have to figure out what the hell's wrong with me in the first place. Maybe after that.
Besides, I think, aren't you guys too young to, like, be official heroes like Captain Bucky?
Official in the sense of funded, then yes. But we can always be sworn in as some sort of junior meta detective thing. And yeah, I don't know anymore. I don't.
Jacob kind of sighs like, look, emotions are high right now. Let's not make any decision about that. We got the jewels home. Joey and you are both safe, despite everything that did happen. I think we chalk this up as a victory and go home.
Yeah, we can't. I can't.
Can't what?
Can't go home.
Oh, why not?
Because I just threw a tiara at a bunch of criminals at a jewelry store and probably got caught on tape doing it. So I should probably let my dad know about that.
Yeah, and I should probably at least pretend I was with you.
You weren't on tape, I was.
Fair.
You and Joey were hiding in the candy store?
Fair.
Or
What?
you,
Oh, yeah, we were.
or at least Joey was. You ran off to the clothing store, I guess.
There you go.
I'm so grounded.
No, we were just here. You saw, you know what? You know, you grabbed a so Joey starts, so Jacob starts to say, it's like, so you grabbed a tiara and threw it, wait, what?
Yeah. I Sailor Mooned the hell out of them.
Joey kind of like gives a nod and says, I caught a glimpse of it. It was pretty awesome.
I didn't know I could throw that hard.
I didn't know I could tear open a hole in the street, but I did that.
Physical hole or metaphysical hole? Because physical holes in the street are easy.
You know, I'm not entirely certain, but with the way everything is, I'd say metaphysical. It stopped the jewel bag from going into the sewer, so.
Fair. I hear sirens, which means, yeah.
You do notice also the weather is starting to let up a
Yeah.
Well, clearly, this was a lot more organized than some random looters.
Joey kind of looks at you guys. So, you mean all this weather stuff was planned?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, somebody was definitely using that against me as I was trying to get the bags back. So, somebody had to be watching. And either that means through some kind of closed circuit something, or, you know, they were actually close by.
Wouldn't be that hard to hack into the outside and the inside video cameras.
This is true.
But we should probably at least go talk to the detectives, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting a visit from Chet and my dad.
More than likely.
Well, we know they're in the area.
Yeah.
I think on that, we're going to end the comic because we know there's an impending meeting coming. But before the comic actually closes, we're going to have a final series of panels that's kind of drifting out behind our heroes as they're recovering, as the rain is clearing up, to the back door of the candy store. And we just see the body of the thug who pulled the gun on Joey laying there, barely just registering as being like motion like having motion or anything, beaten to all heck. Like, savagely. And a shadow looming over him. And then we're going to end the comic. Alrighty. So, thank you guys for coming out to BCC tonight to join us. Again, that was Emerald City, and I'm your DM for the night, Million Ice, along with LPT Lawyer and TGE. Everybody have a nice evening.